Many people these days think that this is a recent invention of gastropub culture. In fact, it dates back to medieval Europe, where it was considered a breakfast food. Like many of the cooking videos I have up on YouTube, there are already a lot of recipes for some version of beer and cheese soup online. And in fact, many good cooks imagine that they could just pour some beer into a Mornay sauce and voila, soup's on. In fact, it requires a delicate touch and a careful balance of flavors to be smooth, rich, and delicious without being nauseatingly heavy or sickeningly salty. Okay, I got the carrot, the leek. Now, there's a lot of different ways to clean leeks. The one that's the most efficient is you first cut the end off, which I actually already did. Then you run a knife like this. Then you run this under water, and this will rinse off all the dirt in it without destroying the leek. It's you can see I've cut the vegetables up still into fairly large pieces. I haven't even cut the garlic up at all. This is going to be, the butter's just melted on a medium heat. It's a number 5 out of 1 to 10. And then I'm going to add the vegetables to this and very slowly cook them. This is what it looks like after 10 minutes. It's still simmering away slowly in the butter on the same number 5 heat. Okay, it's been just over half an hour now, and if you look closely, you can see there's some little brown bits. The finer pieces of leek are starting to turn brown, and there's some little patches of color like on the garlic, and if you can see that, there's some golden parts. This is sufficient. You don't want to cook it beyond this because you definitely don't want any burnt taste in this. So now I'm going to strain it. In a sieve here, you just try to get most of the butter off of it that you can. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to go crazy here. And this butter below, that's what we're going to use. Okay, I rinsed out the pan, and now I'm adding butter that was strained off of the vegetables. We're going to begin heating this. To this. And then we're going to begin whisking it together. A little bit. And we'll start with a wooden spoon after we get this incorporated well. We'll start with a wooden spoon. Now, in this case, I've got it heated also on a 5 on 1 to 10. And you might be wondering, why didn't I just leave the vegetables in it? Two things. First of all, the vegetables have a lot of moisture in them, and that's going to interfere with making the roux. Second of all, I'm going to take this roux to a fairly dark stage, which means the vegetables would be burnt and bitter before the roux got to the stage that we wanted. So we want to cook the vegetables in the butter to soften them and give them flavor, but we can't leave them in the butter when we're making the roux. We're just going to ruin them. Meanwhile, I'm going to add those vegetables that were cooked in the butter to either a small food processor or, even better, the cup for a stick blender, along with the chicken stock. And these are going to get pureed. And you want to make sure that you have something that doesn't have any lumps. So puree it well, because you don't want a lumpy soup in this. Okay. I'm at what on that chart is called toast or toasty now, and I'm going to add milk to this and begin whisking it in. Just thicken up a little bit. This is what we're looking for. Very thick and heavy. This is what it's going to be like. Now we're going to add the vegetable and chicken stock puree to this, which will help cool it down. I took it off the burner. This will help cool it down. Get it ready to start adding the cheese. You still need to check the temperature after this. Stick your finger in it and make sure it's not too hot. I already got the right color of cheddar because of the carrot. Now it's got the cheese in it, and as you can see, it's really, really thick. It should be like this before you add the ale. Very thick. Okay, and in it goes. Now, I'm going to whisk this together, let it start reducing. Definitely want to fry some bacon and crumble it over the soup. It's an important ingredient.